Gorshay Marhaba. There is a sad news about shooting in Florida. One Afghan descent who was born in New York, aged 29, he lived in Florida, 90 miles away from Orlando. He carried out a terrorist attack in a gay nightclub, Pulse, in Orlando, and he killed at least 50 people, and another 53 are seriously wounded and they're in the hospital. All sorts of theories are being discussed on the media from USA to UK, all over the world. He is being linked with ISIS, Daesh, Islamic terrorists, and as we hear, he is believed to have carried out this mass shooting in a gay club because they think it's against Islam. A lot of people follow me on Twitter and they have asked me what is my opinion on this. I have quite a few followers on Twitter who come from different background, who take their time before they comment on anything. Those who get to the bottom of the truth before they finally give their verdict about anything. However, after this incident, some of the friends on Twitter have said Islam is a religion of hate and death because Islam does not permit its followers to engage in homosexuality. And to be honest with you, I did not personally know what does Islam say about homosexuality. I never um study uh, Islamic point of view on homosexuality. However, I heard through different news agencies that ISIS punished gay people, and I've seen quite a few videos in which they were throwing a gay man from top of a building. They threw him away and he died. But I never really studied Islamic point of view on homosexuality in details. And I did not know what was the punishment in Islam. And I understand, even if Islam prohibits its followers from becoming gay, and those who become gay among Muslims, Islam awards them death penalty. It does not give any Muslim a license to go and kill any gay man. Islamic jurisdictions only apply on Muslims in a Muslim state, and the punishment is to be given by a Islamic judge, not by a common Muslim. For example, you are a Muslim and your religion does not allow males to engage in homosexuality, and you don't like it because you're a Muslim, right? However, if you see a non-Muslim being gay, in that case, Islam does not ask Muslims to go and kill anybody who are gay. Obviously, you have to see what Christian religion thinks of gay marriages, what Christianity, what Bible says about homosexuality. Islamic rules only apply to Muslims. Islamic laws do not apply to non-Muslims. And even if a Muslim guy becomes a gay, in that case, a common Muslim cannot take the law in his hand. He cannot just go and kill people because they uh, have become disobedient to God. You cannot be a judge on matters relating to God's commandments. If there is a law in Islam, there must be a judge as well. But unfortunately, Islam is practiced involuntarily throughout the world. There is no established hierarchy who controls all the Muslims, right? Like Catholics. Catholics have their hierarchy. They sit in Vatican, and all the Catholics all over the world believe in the Pope, and they listen to him. But there is no such thing in Islam. Do not hate Islam simply because Islam does not allow homosexuality. And just because Islam does not allow homosexuality, it does not give any Tom, Dick, and Harry a license to kill anybody. According to the Quran, there is no such thing as death penalty to the transgressors. However, in ahadith, in Sunan Abu Dawood and Al-Bukhari, in some of these ahadiths, it is narrated that death penalty should be awarded to those who become gay and who become homosexual and engage in sexual act with the same sex. According to Muslim faith, death penalty is awarded to those who commit homosexuality. But this law in Islam does not give license to any common Muslim to start killing people who have become homosexual. There is a law, there must be a department within Islam, there should be a department within Islam who interpret the law or who uphold the law and who bring people to justice. There must be courts. So what this guy has done is highly condemnable, deplorable. Now let's see, what does Bible say about homosexuality. It's not just Islam that does not permit people to become homosexual. Even the Bible has the same point of view on homosexuality. There is a verse, Leviticus chapter Leviticus 20. If a man has sexual relations with a man, as one does with a woman, both of them have done what is detestable. They are to be put to death. Their blood will be on their own heads. Now, in terms of awarding sentence to uh, homosexuals, Islam and Christianity are on the same page. Then why condemn Islam only? But even if Islam and Christianity do not allow homosexuality, and they want to award death penalty to the wrongdoers, this does not license any common man to go and kill any gay man. This is not what Bible suggests, and this is not what Islam suggests. Chapter Leviticus 20. If a man also lie with mankind as he lieth with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination. They shall surely be put to death. Their blood shall be upon them. Both Bible, both Christianity and Islam has the same perspective, right? But then again, let me give you an example. I steal and I commit a sin by stealing. Stealing is not allowed by Christianity or by Islam. And you become a gay. So what should we do then? I should punish you and you should punish me. You should cut off my hands and I will kill you. If this happens, then nobody will live here. So those who go out and kill people because they think it is not allowed in Islam, number one, they are not Muslims. Number two, are they Christians? No, they're not Christians either. Number three, if Islam and Christianity does not allow homosexuality, who are you to punish them? Are you God? God is the judge. What does God say about punishment? Very clear. God said, according to Islamic belief, there is only one sin that God said He will not forgive anybody of, and that is finding a partner with God, shirk. If you attribute a partner with God, this is called shirk in Islam. And according to God, only this one sin is unforgivable. All other sins are forgivable, and God can forgive anybody anytime. So wait for God to decide whether He wants to forgive them before God passes His verdict about a sinner. You are going to kill them. That is not fair. Maybe if somebody has become a homosexual, God has prescribed a day of judgment. This is when He will judge. This is when He will announce, He will announce judgment. They will go to hell and they will go to paradise. But if you kill the sinners here, you are not letting God decide for them. Maybe God will forgive them. But before the time comes for God to forgive them, you are killing them. This goes totally against the principles of any religion. Now, it is very strange. It is very strange that we have this in Bible. Homosexuals should be put to death. The Bible says. However, there is a story in which Jesus Christ was walking by a mob, and there was a lot of commotion, and the people were screaming on top of their voices. And Jesus stopped there and He asked people, "What's going on?" And they said, "There is a woman who committed adultery, and we are pelting stones on her as punishment." And Jesus said, "Halt, stop, don't stone her." And then Jesus asked them, "Is there anyone in this mob who has never committed a sin?" And there was not even a single man who had never committed a sin. Everybody was a sinner. And then Jesus said, "When all of you have sinned in your life, then who gives you the authority and power to punish the other sinners?" And they said, "Jesus, we are doing it according to the law of Moses. Do not disturb us." But Jesus did not allow that woman who committed adultery to be stoned to death. So we have something else in Bible, but what Jesus has done is something else. Islam, as it has been interpreted now, to be honest with you, there are many thousand of ahadith, the traditions of the Prophet. The text of those is not trustworthy anymore. You know? So I'm not saying we should devalue the traditions of the Prophet. I'm not saying the traditions of the Prophet Muhammad have no value at all. However, the health of these traditions of the Prophet carries a big question mark. Even if you're a Muslim and your religion does not allow anybody to become a homosexual, even then, Islam does not permit you to kill that person. That punishment will come from the authorities within Islam, those who uphold the law. And number two, it only applies to Muslims, right? It only applies to Muslims. And America is not a Muslim country. Islam is being used. However, if you say Islam should allow homosexuality, but then we have Bible. Penalty of homosexuality is the same in all three religions: Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, all three. But when a terrorist does this, all the anger comes upon the religion. And they say, look, Islam is asking you to kill gays. No. Islam awards death penalty to the wrongdoers, to homosexuals. But Islam does not ask common Muslims to carry out the execution. And at the same time, it's not just Islam. Christianity has the same point of view. Judaism has the same point of view. Then why do we have these terrorists? We have these terrorists because of hatred, because of wrong interpretation. This is wrong interpretation. Now, look, if you kill somebody in some US states, if you kill somebody, you will be awarded death penalty. Yeah? Right. If you live in one of these states in the United States of America, and you see somebody has killed a man, right? And you know, according to the law, he should be awarded death penalty. But does it mean you should kill him, the offender? No. Who will execute the punishment? The concerned authorities. The concerned authorities. If every single person becomes an executioner, then there will be nobody living. That is very wrong. Wahhabi sect has misinterpreted the religion of Islam. If you ask me, what is your point of view about homosexuality? Right? If you ask me, what is your personal point of view about homosexuality? Then what I have to say is, I prefer a woman. I'm straight. Right? I would prefer a woman. I'm straight. Right? However, if my friend wants to be a homosexual, it's none of my business. If he wants to be a homosexual, that's his decision. That's his life. I don't care. Okay? Just because he is a homosexual, will it have any bad effect on my relationship with my friend? No. So my point of view about homosexuality is that it is a matter of preferences. You decide to have sexual relationship with same sex, that's your own understanding, and this is your own choice. I want to be straight, that is my choice. I want to be a straight man, that is my choice. And I should be allowed to practice my choice. And you want to have sexual relationship with same sex, that is your choice, and I respect that one. You respect my choice, and I respect your choice. If somebody asks me, your spiritual discourses, your spiritual benevolence, spiritual grace, is it confined to straight people only? I would say no. The blessings of Lord Rariaz Gohar Shahi is for everybody, for the entire LGBT community. We have no hatred for anybody. We respect humanity. This is only a tiny issue, right? This is your own body. You decide what to do with this. Do you understand my point? And it is so strange. It is so strange that these Muslims are now talking about homosexuality. Every other Muslim priest in the mosque is homosexual and pedophile. They're talking about homosexuality. These Muslim priests, they rape innocent children. aging 6 months to 1 year, 2 year, 5 year, 10 year, 15 years, whether it is a girl or a boy. This is so disgusting that when you do it, it's okay. When others do it, you want to kill them. If this is Islam, then we want to say goodbye. But we don't think this is Islam. This is your own understanding. You see, these religions are very old. These religions are very old. And there is another problem which is very sensitive point that I would like to mention. You have to listen to me very carefully. In these religions, more emphasis is laid on your physical worship. Because spirituality, even when it was introduced to these religions, it was just a flavor of spirituality. These religions, Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, these three religions are Abrahamic faith. And their emphasis is on your physical worship, physical purity. They're more concerned about cleanliness of their body. And they are naive to the internal, esoteric cleanliness of the soul. Because that knowledge is not available for except a tiny little fading flavor of spirituality. Therefore, more emphasis is laid on physical purity. Because this is all they have. Their deeds, their actions, and their reward is highly dependent on how pure their body is. But when you enter into spirituality and you awaken your souls and you enlighten your souls, and with the help of your souls, you become unified with God. You become united with God. Then you care less about the cleanliness of your body. However, they do not have this brand of spirituality in these religions. Therefore, all their emphasis lies on physical purity, physical purification. This is why they care so much about physical cleanliness. But if your souls become awakened and become enlightened and purified, and your soul is with God, then who cares about the cleanliness of the body? Do you understand the point? Now let me say it in Urdu. یہ جو مذاہب ہیں، یہودیت، عیسائیت، اسلام، ان میں روحانیت جو ہے برائے نام ہے، روحانیت برائے نام ہے. زیادہ تر ان کا انحصار جسمانی عبادات پر اور جسمانی طہارت پر ہے. لہذا کوشش کی گئی ہے کہ جسم کی جو ہے وہ طہارت اور پاکیزگی کو جو ہے مینٹین کیا جائے، جسم ناپاک نہ ہونے پائے. بار بار وضو کریں، پاد آ جائے تو وضو کریں. اسی لیے this is the reason why in these religions in which more emphasis is paid on physical purification, physical modesty, because they do not have profound knowledge of spirituality. And what they will get as reward from God highly depends on their physical worship. Therefore, it's a high thing, it's a big thing to them to maintain their physical purification. इन लोगों में, इन मज़ाहिब में ज्यादातर जो दबाव है इस पर इसलिए है, right? Let me give you an example. Some people have a full-time job. 40 hours is full-time in England. And on top of that full-time job, they have some part-time job as well. So when you have a full-time job and you have a part-time job as well, you naturally give more importance to your full-time job. But when you become redundant and your full-time job is gone and you are only left with few hours of part-time job, you are totally dependent on those few hours part-time job, right? Now, when you are a spiritual man and your souls are engaged with God, your souls are purified, enlightened, awakened, and they're able to make a spiritual journey. Your souls are able to hear God. Your souls are able to love God. Your souls are able to be with God. You're making a lot of progress and you're making a lot of rewards for yourself. Even if your body is not making any good deeds, what your soul is doing is far better for you, right? But those who do not know spirituality and their reward will only come from what their body will do, they are totally dependent on good actions and good deeds of their body. Do you understand my point? This is why these religions are so strict about the cleanliness and modesty of the body. But since His Holiness Gohar Shahi has introduced spirituality in fuller meaning of the phrase, spirituality, now your goodness is dependent on purification of the soul. Christianity, Judaism, Islam is concerned about the purification of the body because they do not have the knowledge that will purify your soul. But Gohar Shahi has introduced the knowledge which will purify your soul. Islam does not like homosexuality. Christianity does not like homosexuality. Judaism does not like homosexuality. But Gohar Shahi is not bothered. Messiah Foundation International is not bothered. Messiah Foundation International has the knowledge of the soul. Okay, then who is right and who is wrong? Your body is for this world only. When you die, your body is gone. But if your soul is awakened and it is purified, this purification will last forever. If your body is pure and your soul is dirty, it's useless. Like your clothes are pure and clean and your body is dirty, it's useless, isn't it? I mean, you have clean clothes, but you have shit all over your body. Is it good? No. These religions do not have the knowledge of purifying and awakening the soul. Therefore, Messiah Foundation doesn't care whether you are bisexual, transgender, or homosexual, or lesbian, or gay. All these words describe your body. Message of Gohar Shahi is far greater than your body. The message of Gohar Shahi is about awakening your soul, is about purifying your soul. We cannot deprive people of this great gift of God, love of God, simply because they are gay, simply because they are lesbian. No, we cannot do that. We respect all humanity, whether they are bisexual, homosexual, transgender, whoever they are. When we're not bothered about their physical engagements, we are to do with their souls, their spirits, their heart. Some people are not gay, but they are involved in some other sins which their religion does not allow them to do. So what's the point? Well, God doesn't have a problem with gays. Well, God's point of view is, when you do that, you're actually um, making your body impure. Yeah? Why did God say that? How come the body is impure? God said that because God thinks you would want to bring God in your heart. But you're not even spiritual. You don't even want God to come in your heart. It's now useless. Whether you're making your body pure or impure, it's useless now. Isn't it? So Messiah Foundation International and its message is open to all. Homosexual, bisexual, transgender, whoever. Whether you have sexual relationship with a pig or a dog or a donkey or any other animal. I mean, look at these countries in the Arab world. They're having sex with animals. I mean, look at this, the contemporary Muslim approach. If you tell them, "Oh, you're having sex with an animal," and he goes, "Oh, God said, do not have sex with men. I'm having sex with an animal. God never said you cannot have sex with animals." You know, animals, a lot of animals are exported to Pakistan from Saudi Arabia. And I remember my father used to say, "Do not eat meat that comes from Saudi Arabia." And I asked him why. He said, "No, forget it. You're a child. You will not understand it." Because most of the goats in Saudi Arabia, in this Arab world, their poor goats are pregnant with Arab shayukh. They're having sex with pigs and goats and lamb, and one Muslim priest in Saudi Arabia tried to have sex with a chicken, hen. But I want to tell everybody, just because of this sin, we cannot deprive people of obtaining God's love. Right? Some people do this kind of sin, some others do other types of sins. Both are sinners. Everybody has the right to do whatever he wants to do. Now, do you think it's bad? Well, according to these religions, it's bad. Okay, then what do you think you should do? I shouldn't do anything. Why? God said in this religion it's not good, so God will decide. It's not my job. If God doesn't like it, God will decide, not me. I shouldn't be the judge. If I want to be the judge, then when I sin, I should allow people to judge me and execute on me. I'm really puzzled how Islam is being interpreted. It's just a simple thing to understand. Even if Islam does not like homosexuality and it awards death penalty to homosexuals, did Islam ask every Muslim to execute and kill others? This is not your job. This is not your job. You cannot do it. Now, this is what has happened today in Orlando, Florida. This is homegrown terrorism. That guy was born in New York, US citizen. Why? We have one Muslim called Muhammad Ali, who has just recently died. He was a great Muslim, but he respected humanity. He said Islam did not allow anybody to hurt and harm anybody. And then we have these Muslims. What is the difference between the type of Muslim Muhammad Ali was and the type of Muslim this guy was? The one who carried out a terrorist attack in San Bernardino, California, and the one, Umar Mateen, who carried out this terrorist attack in Orlando, Florida. What's the difference between two different types of Muslims? Muhammad Ali Khile was a Sufi Muslim. Sufism has a spirituality. And these guys have been polluted with Wahhabi cult. It's now time for all the Western countries, especially United Kingdom and United States of America and Canada and Australia and New Zealand, in order to deter terrorist atrocities, terrorist incidents, they must wipe out Wahhabism. They must curb Wahhabism. The better you do this, the greater it is in the best interest of humanity, in the best of the interest of your national security. We demand and we request all these governments all over the world, especially these Western countries, not to be just vigilant. Vigilance doesn't pay anything. You have been vigilant. Even then, these incidents are taking place. I mean, this is not satisfying to hear such sentences like, "We stand in solidarity with the families of the victim." How do you stand in solidarity? How? These incidents are not stopping. Why? Because the ideology of hatred is not being banned. The ideology of death, the ideology of hatred is not being halted. You need to ban Wahhabism. You have to hunt down all these individuals. You see, the problem is with people. You are not a terrorist until you kill somebody. But what if you have radicalized views? You're preaching hatred. You're talking about killing. You're talking about jihad. For having such views, you should go behind the bars. And the government and the law enforcement agencies should not wait for you to carry out an atrocity. What kind of a law is this? Where you cannot stop the criminal from committing a crime. You're waiting for them to become a criminal. And then you execute them after they have claimed so many innocent lives. For example, you are a gay. and you come to me and you say, I want to befriend God, and I give you initiation of the heart, and I ask you, okay, close your eyes, say the name of God 3 times, and then your image is taken to God. God knows everything about you. But if He accepts you and your heart is saying God's name, then where is the death penalty? दूसरी बात, सरकार ने एक दिन फरमाया कि ये जो हम तालीम लाए हैं, अगर कोई हरामी आ जाए और उसका कल्ब जारी हो जाए, तो इसका मतलब है कि खुदा ने उसको कबूल कर लिया, अब तू क्यों नहीं करता? सरकार ने क्या फरमाया मालूम? कि मैं तो आया ही गुनाहगारों के लिए हूं। तो ये सारे गुनाह ही है ना? Messiah Foundation International respects all humanity. Whether you decide yourself to be a homosexual or bisexual or transgender, whoever you are, your souls are not affected by what you do. And our message is for your souls, not your body. If God accepts you, then who are we to persecute you? Let me say these things again. We need to understand the difference between spirituality and religions. Religions are more about worship, physical worship, and rituals. And spirituality is about enlightenment of the souls, right? But when you die, your body stays in this world, either in the grave or it's cremated. It is the soul that will be taken up there. If your soul does not have any religion, you are unclassified. Then whatever good deeds your body has done in this world, according to this worship you have carried out with your body, your future will be decided on the day of judgment. Right? But in spirituality, your souls are enlightened. Your souls are awakened and purified. And within your lifetime, you find unification with God. You find union with God, and you become one with God. Is there any reward more beautiful than this? That God loves you and you love God? That whilst you are here and your soul is awake, you love God, and even after your death, when your body is left out and only your soul will go up there, you will still recognize God and love God. These religions cannot enlighten your soul. These religions cannot awaken your soul. These religions will only tell you to do good with your body, to clean your body, to go to a mosque or a church or a synagogue, and verbally worship God. But your soul will be unaware of any act carried out by your body. And in these religions, you follow the law of the religion. completely. And even then, your future, whether you go in paradise or hellfire, is uncertain. No matter how good a Muslim you are, no matter how good a Christian you are, no matter how good a Jew you are, on the basis of your good deeds in this world, you can never say it with utter certainty that you will enter paradise. Only God will decide on the day of judgment where should you go, right? But in spirituality, we're not in the business of going into paradise. In spirituality, we're only focused on obtaining God's love. We're only focused on obtaining unification with God, union with God, become united with God. And that is the difference between these religions and spirituality. His Holiness Gohar Shahi. And the type and nature of spirituality, the brand of spirituality that His Holiness Gohar Shahi has introduced to this world is unique. And it does not have any flavor of any religion. It is naked, nude spirituality. In this spirituality, you're only concerned about God and His love, not about any religion. When you become united and unified with God, if God is generous, then due to presence of God in your heart, you will see you have become generous. If God is compassionate, due to presence of God in your heart, you also will become compassionate. It's going to be like God is living among us when you have become a perfect spiritual man. The body is like a house, and we live in here, in this house. So obviously we want to keep our house clean. And this is exactly what the religion is saying. Keep the house clean. Because this body is a house and the souls are living inside. So you're supposed to keep your body clean. Right? Now, as long as the people are living in a house, you should keep it clean. But when the house become deserted, when nobody is living there, nobody will keep that house clean. Right? For example, there is a house, you have vacated, you have found a new house. Will you come every day to clean it? No. So this is exactly the case where religion said keep your house clean, but the souls are sleeping. But when the souls are enlightened, then you do not need to clean the house. Why? Because the souls will keep your house cleaned. Because the souls will emanate divine light. The divine light will keep your body clean. Should you have hatred for any bisexual or homosexual? Why? Because God does not look at your faces. God looks at your shiny, enlightened hearts. Number two, even if your religion does not allow homosexuality or bisexuality, according to the same religion, you are not the judge. On the day of judgment, God will decide. You cannot kill anybody. You cannot persecute anybody. You cannot execute anybody. And about hatred, If you want to hate somebody because he is gay, then you should also hate yourself because you also do so many sins every day. Becoming a gay, according to our religion, is not good. But then again, think about yourself. What you do every day is right? You think you have never sinned? You have never done anything wrong? You cannot be the judge. Only God is the judge. The entire humanity is accountable to God before God. Nobody can punish anybody. Nobody can punish anybody. And if you hate others because they're sinners, this is wrong, because you also are a sinner. If you are a sinner, how can you say hate another sinner? Everybody sins in this world. There is a large presence of Wahhabis in the United States of America. Many Wahhabi organizations, every time there is a shooting or there is a terrorist activity, their spokesmen come on television and they have their say, and they pose as if they are sympathizers of USA. However, it's apparent. For example, an organization from America called CARE, they support Hamas. Hamas is a terrorist organization. So there is a large number of Wahhabis living in the United States of America. And most of these Wahhabis are supported by Saudi Arabia and their oil money. The government, FBI and CIA have no other choice but to crack down on these potential terrorists, these Wahhabis. ISIS is following Wahhabi ideology. Saudi Arabia, Al Saud family, Saudi Arabia, and ISIS. What is the difference? Only the color. Their flag is green, ISIS flag is black. That's the only difference. The color of the flag. Otherwise, they're all same. Same ideology of hatred. Same ideology of murderers. They are murderers. They're killers. They hate humanity. It's not easy for people to go to the bottom of the truth. They think it's a problem within Islam. No religion can allow anybody to kill. But when wrong interpretation of the religion is given to people, human mind is very fragile. Honestly, when I was a child and I did my high school, and I was at the point where I had to decide whether I should go for engineering or I should become a doctor. I would sit with my father for 10 minutes. He would convince me to become a doctor. And the next 10 minutes I would spend with my mother, and she would convince me to become an engineer. It's very easy. It's very easy. If you keep company of a man who sells mangoes, obviously he will not ask you to sell guava. One day you will stop selling gold and you will start selling mangoes. So when wrong interpretation of the religion is promoted, this mischief takes place. The religion of Islam does not have any hierarchy. There is no unanimous leader, universal leader. who is respected by all Muslims all over the world. Everybody is a leader. Everybody is a judge. On the day of judgment, God will decide who to go to paradise, who to go to hell. But today, every Muslim has become a judge. This is the problem. Religions have problems now because religions are not being taught the right way, wrong way. It's time for humanity to turn to spirituality. People do not know reality. You will find two types of people. Number one, those who will defend Islam no matter what happens. Number two, who curse Islam no matter what happens. Nobody wants to know the reality. Those who do not like Islam, these incidents give them an opportunity to relieve their anger on Islam. And those who are Muslims and they love Islam and are peaceful, they try to explain to others, Islam is not bad, Islam is good. But at the same time, they do not know what to say about these terrorists. It's a very sensitive matter. We're living in the end times. All this terrorist movement is all about Antichrist. The way is being paved for the Antichrist. The hatred and the killing, massacre, carnage, what we see today, bloodshed, is the result of hatred and Antichrist movement. Actually, we are going towards end times. End time doesn't mean uh, the world will come to an end tomorrow. We're in the process. And it's not just the predictions tell us about the end times. The world, the planet Earth, is using up its resources. The sun is getting used up. Everything is getting used up. Not just the fact that the predictions of holy people uh, we're relying on, but if we look at the facts, the earthly facts, everything is posing to the end times. This world has been destroyed many times, and then it was renewed. Yeah. But I don't think this will continue to happen forever, because God is tired. He wants to rest. He wants to go back home and rest. I'm serious. Because the type of crimes that we are involved in, humanity, are the worst of all times. Human beings were never so hateful ever before. The type of crimes that humanity is experiencing today, observing today, is unprecedented. Strange. But does it make any difference? If we die today, it doesn't matter whether the world continues to live on. We only live here for a few years. It doesn't really matter. The most you can live is 100 years, 120 years, 130 years maximum. And then we die. And even this, even after 100 years, if we still live, it's useless because we only breathe. We can't run, we can't enjoy. It's only few years of life that we can say is full of life. After 60, 70, 80, you only breathe, you don't live. We are born once, we will not be born again. Only one performance. And in this one performance, we have to convince God to love us. We have to be focused on ourselves, how to convince God to love us, rather than wasting our time in hatred. God wants to love everybody, everyone. But let's see how many people want to love God. I know not many people want to love God. And if somebody loves God, most people don't like that guy. Especially the ones who are closer to you. So basically, we are in the end times. We are going towards the final episode of the world. Nobody knows the exact date because God changes His mind so quickly. You can't trust Him. And it is also very strange that in this world, hatred spreads really fast and love has to crawl, right or wrong. Look, we are preaching love. We're trying hard to convince people to love, and very hard, and there is no news. And those who are spreading hatred and killing, they are everywhere in the news. We're talking about love, humanity, respect, and there is no media coverage.
Aura TV. Guidance. Brought to you